Welcome back to Racing Across America on this Tuesday morning. Happy to be joined now by Michael Chamberlain from Turf Paradise. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
And we're going to take a little look at turf for this afternoon and get a couple of opinions there. But before we do that, wanted to go back to the weekend. You had a nice little stakes race on Saturday. The Swift 4-year-olds and up going 5.5 for a purse of $30,000. Well, wanted to show this because, again, it is the dominance of Robertino Diodoro. Had a couple in here. We've talked about a number of times. He may win with the longer half of his uncoupled entry. That was not the case, however, this weekend. His favored half wins. The other half runs third. It'll be the number 11 Castletown as we watch the stretch run here. Number 10 Rockin' Home splits the Diodoro Exacta, and at 24-1 provides a little juice in there. With the Diodoro favored on top, the 24-1 shot provides a over $100 Exacta payoff, but the other Diodoro, the number 6 Omar, runs third. A ding-dong finish down here, but a nice performance by the winner, Castletown.
Absolutely. It was a terrific three-horse battle all the way through the stretch, with Castletown coming through in the final strides with Jorge Carreño aboard. And thinking about Rockin' Home, you mentioned that big price. That horse has run well at Turf Paradise in the past, and so it really isn't a big surprise that he comes through with a big effort there. Giovanni Franco, who is the leading rider and who does ride sometimes for Robertino Diodoro, was on that long shot, and I'm sure that played a big part in him with that good second-place effort at 24-1. But a very good race, and probably a preview a little bit of the Phoenix Gold Cup, which is coming up in just a couple of weeks on Valentine's Day, Saturday, February 14th. And I think you'll see a lot of the names from the Swift Stakes coming back in the Phoenix Gold Cup that day.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Rockin' Home here. Rockin' Home over the Turf Paradise Strip. 5 wins, a couple of seconds in 8 starts, so 7 times in the Exacta in 8 starts. So a horse for a course angle there. And yeah, if you wanted to make an Exacta with the Diodoro horse, that proved to be very, very lucrative with a horse that, as you say, has done very well over the track.
Yes, absolutely, and you know, there are the horses like that run at Turf Paradise a lot that you see that, you know, because they run quite a bit. The meet is quite long, and they come, you know, back a few times during the course of the season, and so you'll get a horse like that you know, just happens to like it here and likes the fast surface, and Rockin' Home put forth a really big effort. Yeah,
that was great. All right, let's take a look at a couple of races for this afternoon. I also, with the weather, Turf Paradise was actually my backup track today, so I've taken a look at it as well. And before we get to some thoughts on today, give us, speaking of the weather, what is the weather out there?
Well, we do have some clouds in the air right now, and the temperature at the moment is 58. It's supposed to warm up into the low 70s, so we're expecting to get it maybe a high of about 72 degrees or so. So we're looking for a fast surface today, and had a couple of raindrops fall here and there yesterday, late in the afternoon, but nothing that should affect the racetrack. So we're looking fast and firm today, and a temperature of about 70 with some lingering clouds. Nice.
And in the opener, 14 to $16,000 claimer. They're going 7.5 on the turf. I had a 2, 3, and 4 Von Nez on top. This horse has been off since the end of November, but won a similar event in that race. So the question mark is the fitness, but I put Von Nez on top. Quinchette in the second spot on a little bit of a class move, had been seen in a couple of stakes most recently, but again, that's going back to November. And then Cookie L'Amour, the number 4 horse, goes back to the turf after a couple of dirt starts and has some nice early speed. I didn't use your horse in the mix, but that's probably the one that scares me the most, so talk a little bit about your thoughts in the opener.
Well, I'm going to go with the 1-horse Vertical Lift, and that is the Mike Chambers trainee, which is you know, that's almost as solid as a Diodoro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And you know, the speed figures in some of the recent races between here and Minnesota, when he was running up to Canterbury in the summer, are fairly strong. You know, he ran third on the turf back in early November, came back after that, and really put forth his worst recent effort anywhere, and then and 2 starts back on November 30th. So then they tried him on the dirt 1 month later, and he ran a really good race. He was in front as the field was moving through the stretch, got passed late by a horse named Broken Gray. Still put up a 70 buyer figure. David M. Lopez was riding that day, gets the call again for the return to the turf. So I think Vertical Lift, you know, 3-1 in the morning line is second choice in the wagering. But with Mike Chambers in your corner there, I kind of like this one, chance.
Yeah, and as I say, I didn't have that one up in my top 3, but it's the one that worries me. And why? Well, I have Mike Chambers circled, and his percentage is circled. Moving out to the 5th race this afternoon, Claimer at the 4,000 level. They're going 6.5. And again, I didn't use yours in the mix, but I have percentages circled around yours. I went 4-3-7, easy hit on top. This horse was seen in a starter 8 last time, so I thought maybe a little of a class move. I thought the recent buyers were pretty good as compared to these. Mike T. Quick, also off the recent numbers, looks pretty good. Comes in off a win streak as well. This has been a popular horse in the claim box also, and then relatively correct on the nice improving buyers over the past 3 starts. And again, did not use your pick in here, but I have a couple of the trainer angles circled and think this is, again, another one that I may regret not using.
And my horse is the one, Midnight Con, who's going to offer a little bit of a price here at 6-1. Dennis Collins has the ride, and Dennis is starting to win some races with some regularity here at Turf Paradise this season. This horse is moving up in company, was running with $3,000 claimers, non-winner of 1 to start the season in a year, and then came back with non-winner of 2 after the win on December 9th. Has been 1st or 3rd in all 4 starts this season, 3 of those coming with Dennis Collins aboard. And I just think that, we were talking about the horse for course angle. I think this horse is one that, especially at that price, 6-1, the horse has had relatively good success at Turf Paradise, 9 starts, 3 wins, 4 thirds, and then 2 out of the money finishes. But I'll go with a little bit of a shot here with the 1 horse at 6-1, Midnight Con at 3-5.
Yeah, and again, you have a trainer, limited starts at the meet, but he's 2 for 4, and I think you have to pay attention to something like that. And so, as I said, I didn't have it in the mix, but again, it's one where I had circled some of the information and thought that this one was a little bit interesting also. Michael, I want to ask you, talked a little bit over the past couple of days about the National Handicapping Championship out in Las Vegas, and I'm just curious, have you ever been a contest player?
I have played in some contests in the past. Did one live a few years ago at Louisiana Downs. Didn't do so hot, but some of the online ones, I've actually come close in the past qualifying, and I did win a contest on the Equibase site when they were doing that a few years ago. As a matter of fact, when Pants on Fire won the Louisiana Derby, nice. That was the race to put me over the top, as a matter of fact.
Very good, very good. Yeah, and I've talked a little bit about it yesterday with Mike Penna. I've played a number of contests. I think they're a lot of fun, and part of it is I think you have to juggle up your handicapping a little bit because you're kind of shopping more for value during a handicapping contest. So I think it helps your handicapping skills in that you have to come at a different angle and look maybe a little bit differently.
Absolutely. I mean, when you start looking for those, 8 to 10 to 1 shots, then, sometimes you'll throw into like a multi-race wager, like a pick 4 or a pick 5, and you have to have that horse come out on top and be the horse that provides you with a little bit of a boost in your contest standing. That certainly, as you say, it improves your overall handicapping ability, I think.
Yeah, no question about it. Michael, before we let you go, just asking people this week, any thoughts on the Super Bowl? You have a pick, Seahawks, Patriots?
I'm going to go Patriots 28-24, and I like Gronkowski to be the MVP. I think if he has a big day, I think the Patriots win.
All right, we like it. I'm writing it down, so we'll give you credit if you hit there. All right, Michael, we'll let you go. We appreciate the visit, as always. Good luck this afternoon. We'll talk to you again.
Talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
All right, Michael Chamberlain from Turf Paradise. That will bring us to our last break. When we come back, a little more on the news and notes angle. Also, Ocala Breeders today. They're the annual Ocala Breeders Sale race schedule, a little race schedule. Just take a look at those races as well. Just give you a heads up. That's this afternoon at Ocala. There is the sale, and they have the training track there. They run races. And I was going to say, I think, I'm virtually certain now that last year or the year before, they started to offer wagering because they have a simulcast facility right there. For years, they were non-wagering events, but they added wagering within the past year or two. Now, I'm not sure whether it gets simulcast around the country. I don't think we offer it because I don't know, as I say, whether the signal gets offered. I don't know whether it's that complex, but they have a wagering mechanism right there on track. But they attract some interesting runners, typically from either the Tampa or the Gulfstream area to come over. So some of the jockeys and some of the trainers, and that's at Ocala this afternoon. I think it's a 5-race card, but we'll just do a quick preview of those as well. All of that when Racing Across America continues. Stay tuned.